Hello everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful first day of spring. It's a snowy first day of spring here in the mountains in Tennessee, and it's also my anniversary. 16 years ago, on the first day of spring, I walked into Kroger and I bought my very first orchid, and the rest has been history. I love sharing my experience and my experiments with all of you, and I wanted to go over some questions I've had about using CalMag with my water culture orchids. I just thought I would show you the results that I've noticed after using CalMag for 3.5 months with my water culture orchids. One reason I started using the CalMag is last spring I noticed that after the winter, my orchids looked tired. And I thought I need to find something so that they will look sturdier going into the spring and the summer months. So I started using the CalMag around the 1st of January. And I just wanted to show you the results. The roots are just so much healthier than they were this time last year. Look at this new root. It is beautiful. This root system looks wonderful. This root system looks a whole lot better than it did this time last year. Also, my dendrobiums are looking greener and healthier. This one has a spike that's getting ready to bloom. And this is, I have nicknamed this one Simplicity. Thank you to my friend Caroline for that name. It's just a nickname. It's a no ID dendrobium, but I can't call it that. It's just too beautiful. As you see, it is in really good shape. This is the one that I really thought I was going to lose it over the summer due to a nitrogen deficiency, and it has grown beautifully. This one had a magnesium deficiency. The leaves, before I started using the CalMag and the extra Epsom salts, these leaves were purple. As you see, they are green, they are healthy. The new root growth is beautiful. Do you see how thick these roots are? I'll show you here. Beautiful, beautiful roots. So I've seen a big difference since I've started using the CalMag. Now what I do is I give these 2 dry days a week. I do a semi-water culture of sorts with my water culture orchids. I really don't do full water culture anymore. They need the dry days. They have grown better for me since I've given them dry days. So let me show you how I do this. I think everybody's water culture kind of looks a little bit different, but I'm going to show you how I do this. Today was the day to use the CalMag with my water culture orchids. So I drain the water, and I do still keep a little bit of that back. I like inoculating my water with just a little bit of the older water. I believe that they grow better for me when I do. So this is what I used. I watered them with this mixture. I let it set. Let me show you. Here's the water level. I let it set up to about right here. I fill it up to about right here with the CalMag. And I let it set for about 15 minutes. And then I drain that. And then I give it a dry day. And then if they are in bud, like this one, I'm going to do that again in 3 or 4 days. I'm going to repeat the CalMag that I just showed you. I'm not going to give it the better grow while it's budding like this. I do the CalMag again. And for the ones that are blooming or are not in bloom or bud, then my next dry cycle in 3 or 4 days, what I'll do is I will give it the Better Grow Orchid Plus at about 150 to 170 parts per million at a pH of 6.0. What I do to get that pH of 6.0 is I add a tiny, tiny little amount of baking soda to increase my pH. So this is what I do for the ones that are either in bloom or they're not blooming or budding at all. So if it's in bud, you're going to do this once or twice a week with the CalMag. Drain the water and then water it with the CalMag. Let it set for 15 or 20 minutes and then drain that and let it set out dry for the day. If it's blooming or if it's not in bloom at all, then you're going to alternate these two. This is what I do. The first dry day is the CalMag. Then the second dry day, 3 or 4 days later, is the Better Grow Orchid Plus. It has worked for me. My orchids do not look tired. As a matter of fact, they have grown really very well. I was going to show you another example out in my orchid room. And here is my fowl, Sandy Beach. She's always had a beautiful root system. She has a primary spike already. She just came out of bloom just a few months ago. She already has a primary spike and she has the secondary spike. So that is pretty amazing growth for winter. Also, this leaf that you see, it has just a little bit of a yellow tip on it. This has been filling in right here. I can see this leaf starting to turn greener and greener. For those of you who watched my last video where I showed this, you can see it is greening up. You see these brown tips. That means it does need calcium. That's kind of what clued me in there. So you can see that the leaves that were turning yellow are turning green again. I mean, that is just fabulous. I am so excited about the progress of this plant. So it's not going to lose any leaves this year. Wow, that's pretty incredible. Also, the new root growth on my Vandas has been incredible. What I've been doing with my Vandas over the past 3.5 months is, as you see today, is their soak day. So after I drain this water, tomorrow what I'll do is I'll give these a higher dose of the Better Grow Orchid Plus. I usually fertilize them around 200 to 250 parts per million. This time of the year, they're growing all of the time, so they can take that higher rate of fertilizer. And then in a few days, I will spray down the roots with the CalMag when I'm mixing it for the rest of my collection. So they're getting at least 1 day of CalMag every week. That's how I'm kind of doing their fertilizing routine as well. And the new growths are coming out just beautiful and green. It's so funny to see that snow today on the first day of spring. But you can see they're growing really well. Let me show you another one. This is Vanda Sensei Blue, and just look at the root growth here. This is just incredible. Healthy, beautiful plant. This one has rebloomed for me several times. So I can't wait for some more sunny, warm days. Then I'm going to be getting some more Vanda blooms when it gets sunny and warm. So I hope that gives you some ideas about your fertilizing regimen. If you are doing a different fertilizer regimen and it is working for you, I just encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I just really do like to experiment to see what works best for my collection. And I have found that this is a very good fertilizing routine for me. So I hope you all are just having a wonderful day. I appreciate you all so much. And have a highly favored, deeply loved, and greatly blessed day. And we'll talk to you all next time.